Special counsel or no? Joining me now, Tom Dupree, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General under President George W. Bush. Tom, it's great to have you with us, and you can, we'll add your vote to the total. Should there or should there not be a second special counsel to investigate Clinton corruption and investigate really why anyone in their right mind would give up 20% of the uranium reserves of this country?
Lou, in my opinion, the Attorney General is handling this the right way. What he said when he testified yesterday in Congress is that he has assigned DOJ prosecutors to conduct an investigation. They're going to look into it. They're going to report back to him. And once he has that evidence and that information, the Attorney General himself is going to make the call as to whether a special counsel is warranted or whether this is something that can be handled in the ordinary course by DOJ prosecutors.
In the ordinary course, it's been 8 years. Since some of the activities took place, longer in some instances, and the DOJ of the Obama administration, and I think most fair-minded people would say it was the most politicized Justice Department in history, they have not acted. This Justice Department, I'm sorry?
Now, I was going to say that's true, but there's a new sheriff in town, and I think Jeff Sessions is going to look at the evidence in a very responsible way and make the determination himself. You're right, it happened a long time ago.
It took him 3.5 months to respond to a letter from the Judiciary Committee, seeking answers on what in the heck he's doing. 3.5 months. He's been there now for 9 months and almost 10 months, and nothing's happening. At what point do you say, Mr. Attorney General, it's time to light a damn fire, and every month you waste is just a month in which perpetrators have to wipe away the evidence of their crimes?
Well, look, I can tell you in the world of criminal justice, a lot of times the wheels of justice turn slowly, or at least
and I'm telling you,
as fast as we'd like.
Tax-paying citizen, I don't give a damn how tough it is for the attorneys and the investigators of the Justice Department. Get off their duffs and come to conclusions on their investigations. Do you know we still haven't seen the report from Benghazi or Fast and Furious? We have seen an attorney general for the first time in history be cited for contempt by Congress. I mean, Tom, you know what's going on. That swamp is consuming people whole, and it's just got to stop.
And look, I think that the Attorney General has done something very smart here, Lou, which is to say that he has assigned this decision on whether a second special counsel is needed to be looked at by the career prosecutors. The reason I think that's smart is because if they do find that there's evidence there that warrants further investigation or a prosecution, I think they'll have done a great job of insulating that decision from accusations of political favoritism that we know are going to come.
Tom, you're one of the smartest attorneys I know. And the fact of the matter is that Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, in your position that you held, is compromised in every way from Sunday. He was involved in the investigation of Uranium One. He and Robert Mueller, the special counsel. And it was a contrivance, and you know it, on the part of James Comey, the fired former FBI director, to create a special counsel and to put his old buddy, Robert Mueller, there. With these conflicts, men of integrity would withdraw from those positions or never permit themselves to be notified, to be named to begin with. Would they not?
Well, we may have to part ways, Lou, on Rod. I think Rod is a man of integrity.
I haven't called him an SOB or anything. I've just said to you, he is compromised because he was involved in the investigation of Uranium One.
And my point, Lou, is that if in fact he cannot be... If he cannot be impartial, I'm totally confident that he will recuse himself. I mean, look, these people aren't looking. These prosecutors, these DOJ
officials... They
officials...
recuse themselves based on their personal and professional relationships as between Rod Rosenstein and Robert Mueller, Tom.
Well, look, I think that at the end of the day, if Rod Rosenstein finds himself in a position where he is making decisions in a matter where he had personal involvement, he's compromised, he can't be impartial, I think he will recuse himself. I mean, I don't think these people are looking for conflicts of interest. And frankly, I think sometimes it's easier for them to be out of the political line of fire. I mean, that's what happened with Jeff Sessions when he recused from Russia. It made the president very unhappy, but from Sessions' perspective, it got him out of the line of fire.
It's one of the craziest decisions I've ever seen. He recused himself from a whole swath. And at the same time, by the way, before the same committee, the Judiciary Committee, he basically was sort of snorting dismissively at the idea he was the leader of a campaign because he wasn't really involved. He was titular at best in that campaign. An honorific could be attached to his name as head of campaign, but the reality, as you and I both know, was he was hardly involved at all.
Look, I think at the end of the day, if it turns out that people are saying maybe they'll move Sessions on the chessboard to run for his old seat and that sort of thing, it would give the president an opportunity to start afresh and to get someone in the Justice Department who wouldn't be recused from the Russia investigation. That would then bring the special counsel investigation really back under the administration's control.
Well, that would be a good thing. I think most of us would agree. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think right now that Bob Mueller is handling this investigation in a responsible manner. I know you have a different view, Lou.
I do.
In my view, I know you do. I know you do. But my view is Mueller is moving. I don't think he's going to be done with his investigation anytime soon. I think what we've seen is chapter one
who the hell
in a long
gave
book.
him the right to just ad infinitum investigate until he trips over an empty can in the dark? The reality is there's more evidence of collusion and corruption against Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation alone than there is no evidence whatsoever of collusion between the Russians and the Trump campaign to date. Tom, I mean, that's the fact. Can we agree on those facts? That narrow set of facts.
I can agree with you to a large extent, Lou. Here's what I agree with you on. I think the regulations, as they currently exist, give special counsels broad discretion to basically look into what they want because it enables them to investigate anything they come across in their course of the investigation. And it's that generality that has given rise to things we've seen in the past, like Iran-Contra investigation, which went, it seemed like, for 20 years. The Whitewater investigation broadened massively beyond its original view. And I think that's a real problem
you're arguing
with these investigations.
You are, in arguing here, making my point. This is a government out of control that is now the special counsel is in charge of this government, and that is the last damn thing most Americans want. Tom, how do we resolve it?
Well, I guess one thing I would say is we need to be cautious about appointing other special counsels.
Yeah, well, that's great, and I'll make a note of it in my history book.
Much appreciated, Lou.